Alright, I'm going to continue to look through the site because I found something in particular that's quite interesting. So I'm going to look at that, and I'm going to basically look at everything else that is a product that I have not already looked through. I want to see all of her products, but first, I have something to show you. Now, to some, this may either be a shock, or other people might explain it away and say, oh, it's just a trick of the camera. Or maybe you could say I'm seeing things. It's just like I said in the Claymore, the video about the Claymore manga. I said I had seen people who had strange looking slit eyes before, slit pupils. But aside from that, I just want to confirm I am indeed at the website, this core group website that is Jenny Weaver's website. Now let me show you, just to prove it, just to prove that I'm not lying, I'm not making things up. And you'll see why I'm taking this step in a few minutes, maybe, or even less than that. But anyhow, I'm indeed at the website. Now let me show you. Well, you're seeing the picture. I just want to ask you this question. Does anything seem very strange about this picture, aside from the book on her eye? I'll give you a few seconds to think about that. Just take a good look. In particular, take a look at her eye. The eye that is not covered, basically. Take a good look at her eye. At her left eye, it would be. Are you done? Did you see it? Did you see anything unusual that peradventure you are somewhat, that you may consider to be somewhat unusual, not particularly normal? Alright. You've had some time to look. Now I'm just going to open the image. Wait, let me take a look, because I had actually zoomed in previously, but let me reset this. And I'm just going to zoom in again. Now, we see the image. It's at 100. Alright. I'm going to zoom in to peradventure 200. So this is an image from her site. Now, maybe some of you folks have noticed, maybe you haven't. The left eye that she has uncovered, well, that doesn't seem like a circular pupil, does it? Now, some people say things like this is a trick of the camera. But how's it a trick of the camera when a circle becomes a line? When a circle becomes a slit? How can a camera do that? Now, we've seen, maybe some of you have seen the new contacts that you can put in your eyes. I've seen a lot of contacts. I've seen these images with people with slit pupils. I still have not found people who've had contacts that look like this. But sometimes I look at pictures, images, and this is what I see. And most of the time it seems as though when people are involved in some wickedness or another, or they're very dubious persons, as it so happens, for whatever reason, I sometimes find pupils like this. These aren't normal pupils. We don't need to be photo experts to know this, basically. This isn't some type of science, so to speak. We see a pupil. We know what a pupil is supposed to look like. We know a pupil is supposed to be circular. Now, if it was a trick of the camera, you would question as to how this would be so specific. We've zoomed in. This is indeed an image from her website. I've seen images like this before. This doesn't surprise me. Of split pupils. The people who who say that there's some type of malfunction or glitch in the camera, ask yourself this question. If that's true, why does this glitch only seem to affect eyes? I just want to ask you that question. If it's a pair of contacts, it's very strange that you're wearing contacts that are slit-pupilled on the website. Many individuals, such as myself, consider this to be a supernatural manifestation. And I know I'm coming out of the blue with this because my last video was a good deal more mundane. People scheming and getting money, making money off of the church, the body of Christ. But this, you can call it what you want, demonic possession. Who knows? I don't make assumptions, so to speak. I think along the same lines. I don't think it's natural, and I don't think it's good. But what I did do is I did download these images. And this is something you should do, people. Always look at people's eyes. When people are up to no good, especially for whatever reason, we see, or I have seen, things in their eyes. Alright? And this is no exception. So, as you can see, I've zoomed in. This is the image I downloaded right off that site. I showed you where I was. This isn't me faking anything. Because if I was faking something, I wouldn't be able to go to the website and literally pick this image out off of Jenny Weaver's core group and show you that this woman is showing her slit eye. And I would go even so far as to say that this person knows that her eye is slit, and she's showing us because there's so many names for things like this. I call it the eye of the serpent. I call it the eye of the serpent because her eye looks somewhat like a serpent. She's giving us the sign of black magic. As I said before, the sign of black magic is to cover your right eye, alright, and reveal your left eye. And it just so happens that her eye is very much not human. It's like a reptile. It is a slit, like a reptile or a cat. And some of you, maybe you think, oh, well, this is too unreal. It can't be, I've seen things like this. I've seen supernatural things, and a lot of things, it's true what you've seen on the shows. The television shows about ghosts. Yes, you can catch things on camera. You really can. You can catch things in pictures. You can catch things on videos that are of a supernatural nature. That is one thing that those people who study the supernatural, they're not lying. Christians, especially, a lot of you are somewhat, I don't know. Please pay attention to people's eyes. That's an old saying. Always look in a person's eyes, because you can determine a great deal from them. Our Bible says the same thing. This woman's profiteering off of Christians, along with Jenny Weaver. They're smiling, they're happy, and they're revealing to us their eyes. And their eyes are full of glee and joy. And this eye is basically what I call the eye of the serpent. Whenever I see a slit pupil, I call it the eye of the serpent. But anyhow, for the purpose of full disclosure, for the purpose of me basically proving myself, because people say you fake stuff. People say you fake stuff. This came from this website, okay? This is indeed her eye. You can see it. This is her picture on Jenny Weaver's website. Psalm Strategies. Okay? I'm pushing the back button. Going right here. JW Online Academy. Jenny Weaver Online Academy. Teachable.com. Okay? Now, you can go to the website yourself and verify what I'm saying. And the reason I'm telling you to do this is because peradventure Jenny Weaver or some of her people might come across this video or my blog or whatever else, and they might say, well, we have to put this on the cover, right? So I'm going to make sure to show you how functional this is so that you know I'm not lying. Because I have to really be specific. You see, this is her website, as you can see. I'm saying that because I really want you to know I didn't make this stuff up. I'm not just pulling this out, out of just some type of jealousy or any type of subterfuge. I'm not scheming. Oh no. This is exactly what I found. So let me see whether, she has so many websites, and it's very hard to, she's selling all types of courses, all types of things. But let me take a look here. This is some strategies. These are her e-courses. So this was the page I was on. All right. Once again, I'm going to paste this right in an empty window so you see I'm telling the truth. I'm not lying. Okay. It's very significant that I found a slit pupil. I always look for slit pupils. I look at people's eyes very closely. So, as I said, as you can see, and I have to be very specific, I have to really belabor the point that I really did go to her website and find this. You can do it too. I encourage you to do it. Take pictures of this. Keep this picture. Because I have a feeling if Jenny Weaver or her people knew that maybe they wanted us to recognize this. I can't say. But this is demonic. This is evil. Now I've heard people say, well, slit pupils are just tricks of the camera. I don't know how that could be the case when for whatever reason, the camera cannot process a circular pupil, a circular black pupil. But hey, maybe I'm being somewhat foolish in this accusation. It's not necessarily an accusation, it's my own observation. Basically, that's all it is. But you tell me if that seems circular to you. You tell me if that doesn't seem like a slit pupil, like a reptile-like pupil, that seems like a human pupil. This is exactly what I was talking about before in my Claymore video. I see these pupils so many times. I see them on video even sometimes. I see them in pictures of other people. And it's very strange to witness. I'm going to go over here. That is and I'm going to take a look at this for just a little more time. You can see that, don't you? Does that seem circular to you? Does that seem like a normal pupil to you? Everything in the picture is normal. Everything in the picture is normal. Everything in it. Except that pupil. Now, you be the judge if this is some type of trick of the camera. Everything else seems to have basically been processed well, except for the pupil. I don't think you can be your own judge of what this means. I have my own opinion about it. I don't think it's particularly natural. Of course, I can make my assumptions, but it's important that you see it and you have your own interpretation of it. But when I saw that pupil, I said, I should show this. I should make a second part to this video. And now, what I'm going to do, I'm just going to look through the rest of her products, what she sells, to be honest. Because I had sort of covered a great deal in my blog. I'd also covered the fact that in addition to all of her streams of revenue, from her courses to her t-shirts to her books to her CDs, monthly partners and one-time giving. Okay, let's look at what, you can donate to this woman, to her ministry. Her ministry is it's obviously making good sums of money because just about every product that you see is sold out. The personality cult of Jenny Weaver. Thank you so much, of course.
Hello there, my friend. I just want to thank you so much
the volume's
from the bottom
off.
of my heart for sowing your seed today. And I believe that the Lord is going to bless you, pressed down, shaken together, running over. Is God going to pour out a blessing for you? If you decided today that you wanted to become a monthly partner, I'm excited to just let you know that you actually are going to get a gift from me every single month as well. You're going to get a brand new e-course. And so thank you for your giving, whether you gave one time or you became a monthly partner. And I cannot wait to even see some of you on our monthly partners call. So God bless you. Thank you again so much. Bye-bye.
Anyone would be that happy if they were making as much money as she is, and had people stupid enough to literally donate to her for, with all the streams of revenue, t-shirts, clothes, kimonos, all types of stuff. It's just like I said, we haven't gotten done looking through it. If you haven't watched the first video, please do. This is basically the second part of us just going through her site. Just me going through her site and basically looking at everything that she sells. I'm going to do it because I might as well. I really think that I should. Because I don't think there's any video like this on YouTube, basically, of anyone just going through her site looking at how commercial it is. This is supposed to be about God, but it's so much salesmanship. You can donate $25 a month. Isn't that funny? Choose a pricing option. Choose a pricing option. The lowest a month is $25. Very funny. Can I give $1? Can I give a few dollars for your ministry? Oh no, you want the big money basically. $25, $50. Give us monthly giving of $50 a month, $75 a month, $100 a month, $150 a month. $200 a month, $250 a month, $300 a month, $400 a month, $500 a month, $1,000 a month. Oh goodness, this is funny. I mean, it's 1,000 goes to $1,589 a month, or you can give a custom amount. Okay, but enroll now. Let's keep in touch. Subscribe to Jenny Weaver Worships to receive her emails. My goodness, I just tell you, the gall that you have to ask for donations. She's so happy. She is so happy. She really is. The gall that you have to ask for donations after you sell. If you saw the first video, you know that she's selling all types of stuff. PayPal, Cash Out, Cash App, Venmo. Hey, plenty of different ways to pay to show your support. To the cult of Jenny Weaver. And it's sad to say, all of these people who do this business stuff, who do this business stuff, it's basically a personality cult. It really is. But as I said, I'm gonna get done looking through everything she sells because there's so much of it. It's just like it's not all on a shop page. I'm trying to see if I can find every single transaction that can be made on her websites because it's just so massive. It's huge. Okay? This shouldn't have anything to do with God. You shouldn't be selling. I don't like this, I mean, she should just open the shop. Because the ministry and her shop are basically sort of both together. If you're going to minister, then do so. If you just want to sell, then you're nothing more than a merchant. And that's fine. But don't pretend as though you can combine your mercantile with your ministry. If you're going to minister for the Lord Jesus Christ, please do. But look at this. It's just we have all types of stuff. We looked at the shirts. So I'm looking at the sweater and long sleeves. And I will say, the clothing does not look bad. that's pretty good, pretty, I would say, looks pretty good. Looks pretty stylish. Okay. I like the hats. Here we have Yahweh. This is, I don't know, some people use the Lord's name in vain. Let me just put it that way. Writing, I don't know. It's just, I say Jesus. That's what I say. Okay? Some people are very, they put a great deal of emphasis on using Yahweh instead of Jehovah. I don't even like saying the Lord's name, to be honest, just for no reason. It's that holy. Now Jesus comes from the sort of Greek transliteration of Yeshua, or basically what our English calls Joshua. And Joshua basically means Jehovah is my Savior, or rather salvation, what have you. You can use Jesus instead of taking the Lord's name and just writing it out like this or saying it. We have it in our Bibles, and truth be told, many people have said that this Yahweh, that the people have different opinions. I've heard so many different naming ways of naming. Some people call the Lord's name Yahuwah. Some people call him Yahweh. There's Yahawashi, the Hebrew Israelites. People have so many different interpretations about name, but I don't like that you just put it on to me, you're making money off the Lord's name. Stop it. This was the name that the Lord had revealed to the Hebrews when they were in the desert. Okay? Coming out of Egypt, or as far as I remember. And it's just, truth be told, these, I don't know. I don't really like these products. It's and I'm not saying, just as I said, pretty good clothing, but I'm just looking through it so that everyone can see. They must be making massive sums. They must be making massive sums. I can't go to page 1 for some reason. I don't know why. But quite the business here. Okay, we have jeans and bottoms. They're selling you can have your whole wardrobe clothed in grace. Okay? Jeans and bottoms. Let's look at this. Goodness, joggers. Goodness, it's like a whole fashion line. It's incredible. And she's raking that cash in. I know she is. I know she's raking that cash in. She is raking that cash in, no joke. She's raking it in. So we have these joggers, okay, this is the same thing. No, this is different. Okay. Wow. What? Just look at how commercial that is. You take the name of God and you say, look at how terrible this is. If this were any other thing on the shirt and the joggers, okay, I can understand that. But look at this, Yahweh black jogger set. Okay, just put the name of God right on your product and sell it for, it's sold out, $47. Okay, $47 to have the God's name. If of course, if you believe that Yahweh is the proper pronunciation, sure. But it's just disrespectful, as I see it. She's making a profit from God's name. I don't like that. Okay, I wouldn't want to sell anything that had the name of God upon it, or even a cross on it. I don't like any of it. Some of you peradventure may disagree, because You've gotten used to the commercialization of Christianity, but it's quite significant to me. It's horrifying. It's horrifying to me. Where was I? I mean, this site is kind of hard to navigate. It's just so much stuff. It's so much stuff. But I'm gonna look through everything. Holidays items. Okay. Now. Okay. We have some shirts. Some gifts that people could basically buy. Okay. Interesting. Yeah. Mary something did you know? I mean candles. No, those are candles. They're tumblers. Oh goodness. But she sells so much stuff. Goodness, look at this. Look at this stuff. So much stuff. It's business. It's business. And some of you may say, well, hey, good for her. She's doing business. But the problem is that this is right on her site where she's basically teaching the gospel. And it shouldn't be that way. If you're going to help your fellow brothers and sisters in Christ, as well as people who want to learn more about Christ, you shouldn't have business involved right here on your websites. They're all connected. So it isn't as though I go to a separate site. No, I go to one site. Let me take a look. E-courses. I go to e-courses, for example. Of course, this is business too, but you're right here. I mean, a shop, consulting, everything that she has, and she must pay a great deal of money. E-course is right here. You see, this is supposed to be about God, but we go right up here, we have basically mercantile. Okay? Now let me take a look at where I was in this site. It's just so much to go through. I've opened up so many pages, which was stupid of me. But wait, no. I can actually reach. Yeah, I can reach her shop right here again. So I can see it. No, I was on a page that had some. Okay, here I go. Here I go. Let me get rid of that. So I have less things in my way. Okay. Up and out. Bloodbreaker line. Bloodline breaker. Oh, that's the idea. I mean, this is breaking curses on bloodline, but why would you... I mean, all of these things have to do with prayer, but she gets to make money off it. But it's just like I said in the last video, that lightning bolt, Jesus is not associated with the lightning bolt. Let me actually take a look. I may have to open up a whole nother. I may have to just open up a whole nother browser, and I may just do that just so I can. Okay, KJV. Satan fell like lightning. Maybe you know the verse. Satan, lightning. It will get the verse that I need. Okay. Luke 10:18, and he said unto them, I beheld Satan as lightning fall from heaven. Satan is always associated with lightning. I don't really like using Bible Gateway. I like using... They always seem to put the King James Bible online. For some reason, they seem to put it on lower than the other search results. They don't already know that... Well, I have an idea that there's some type of conspiracy to basically make this less valid, or to make it seem less valid, but I use KJV. The rest of you folks, if you like different versions, sure. Me as an English speaker, I'm a grammatical person. I don't, there's certain things that I particularly and am specific about, and beautiful grammar and the use of grammar and words is very important to me, and no other version, as I see it, is able to convey the truth that the KJV conveys, at least in the English language. Now, for other people who study other languages, you know, they have different translations, but for me, I am an individual who prefers the King James Version. People are welcome to their opinions, of course, and people will read what versions they want to read. But Jehovah Rapha. The name stuff is very... Shouldn't it be Yahweh Rapha then? Because they... And I think the whole idea of using the name Yahweh, people still use, for example, in that case they need a whole new Bible translation. A lot of folks don't like the fact that Jehovah was used, and I don't even like saying his name because it feels as though it's in vain, but I am teaching and I'm doing it for a purpose, so it's just that sacred to me. But it's interesting that they interchange the use of names because, of course, their Bible didn't translate everything into Yahweh. It's funny, and even a lot of the new translations that do that, not everything has been translated as Yahweh. And so, of course, I don't know if they have any particular doctrine or, so-called... A doctrine is just an opinion, basically. But, I don't know what these people do. But it's just so much stuff on shirts and everything, and it's just... It's money, it's salesmanship. That they're very happy about it. All of these women are happy about it. Oh, goodness, there's whole pages. Of course there is. I mean, they're selling so much. I may not look through everything because the gates of hell will not prevail. Okay. And I'm not saying that the messages on the shirts are necessarily bad. It's just the fact that I know she's making tons of money and profit. And it's so much in the realm of business. I don't think this is good for the church. Well, that woman has a very strong jaw, but never mind. I don't think that's a bad thing to have a very strong looking face for a woman, but I don't know. I just don't see that often. I'm not making fun, mind you. Not making fun, of course. It's just something I noticed. I don't see that often. Okay. But anyhow, Jireh, you are enough. Okay. But it's just, oh my goodness, it's so much profit. It's so much profit. You may see just shirts. I see profit. I know the massive sums that this woman is making, donations, e-courses, books, CDs, shirts, jeans, hats, all types of stuff. For me, it's just, you see, what I'm doing is I'm looking through this. I am just trying to conceive how much money this woman and her associates are making. That's what I'm trying to do. Because this isn't some type of church, as in, and even if it was a church, it would be even worse. Because the body of Christ should not be, they should not mix the worship of God, the wisdom of God, with profiteering. If a person has some type of personal business endeavor, that's a whole nother matter, but my goodness, sold out. People want these hats. They want those fedoras. The fedora is such a... The fedora has gained such a... Well, at least with men, the fedora has gained a bad reputation, but I have no problem with fedoras. They're very, and they're very fashionable fedoras. They're custom made. $39 for custom made fedora. Pretty awesome, I would say. But it's just that, my goodness, it's just massive sums. This woman's making massive sums. Right? You know she is. Things are getting sold out. When things are getting sold out like this, you know that she is doing quite good business. And I mean, not that the business itself is good. And just think about this. A lot of us say, oh, well, they're good Christian people. But think about this. All of these shirts are probably being made by some Hindu in India or Bangladesh or some Muslim somewhere or some Vietnamese Buddhist. And they're living a more, they have very little in the way of means. And what did the Lord say? How, maybe you know the verse. I'm not going to look it up right now. But actually, I should look it up. I should look it up because it's relevant to what we're doing. Okay, I just look it up. KJV, rich man. Because basically I know that Jenny Weaver is rich. And, some verses talk about rich men. Rich man, heaven, or something. Something about a camel in the eye of a needle. I'm sure plenty of you know the verse. I can't remember verses offhand. My memory is not that good yet. So, I do look up verses. I like this website. Matthew 19:24. And again I say unto you, it is easier for a camel to go through the eye of a needle than for a rich man to enter into the kingdom of God. But I'm telling you, we're all connected in this sense. We all live on this world, and business is something that, especially business nowadays, t-shirts and clothing lines and all of that. You may think, well, a Christian should get involved in this. It's a great way to promote Jesus and God. Okay, but let me ask you this question. Where are those clothes being made? Some poor child in a sweatshop is going to receive a few pennies or a few cents for whatever clothes they make. Okay? For every shirt they make, they're barely receiving $1. They're receiving such a small amount of money for them making this. And you say, oh, we have shirts that have Jesus on them, and that's good because all the other shirts have things that are not Christian-like. But that's not true. You can buy a flannel shirt. You can buy a shirt without symbols on it and idols. And, you don't even need to wear satanic clothing lines. Oh, or you can just wear clothing that's not related to anything evil. Okay, you can have words and stuff on it, but it just doesn't need to have, to each his own. But I'm just saying, is this really godly? You can put Jesus on that shirt. It doesn't change where it was made. Okay, it doesn't change the fact that some little boy in some sweatshop somewhere had to sew or make this shirt. It doesn't change it. Just because you put Jesus on that shirt and you say the devil is a liar, yeah, and the devil is smiling as all the young people over there in those poor countries have to sew that clothing. And if you've looked at Indian people, a lot of them know how to make their own clothing. And let me just show you an example. Indian saris. And some people may say, well, who cares? But it matters because a lot of them sew their own clothing. It's something more of us Christians should know how to do. Look at that beautiful stuff. Now, it's true, some of it is indeed made sort of in factories or whatever, but look at the cultural beauty and the beauty of Indian clothing. And look at how American clothing is. Everything is basically the same. A lot of this stuff is handmade, handcrafted. And it's not everything. It's, of course they have sewing machines and stuff, but it's just the quality of the clothing is superior. The person in any of these countries, I imagine, oh, she's covering that eye. Look at that. She's covering that eye. And she's covering the right eye. You find the symbolism everywhere, and you wonder, why would you put it over your right eye? But it's just like I said, it's the universal symbolism of black magic, of the left-hand path. But it's just commercialization. if I had to ask and say, hey, what clothing is... No clothing is worthy to attribute to Christ. You can put as many Bible verses and many other things as you want on them. It doesn't change the low quality of the clothing, or the low quality individuals who decide that they can just simply export Christ and feel as though somehow they're doing it for his glory when they're not. But, I mean, there's some people who believe that they have a right, and they do, to basically profiteer from Jesus, and so many of them do it. I'm trying to see where I was here. Okay, I already looked at men's clothing, so I'm going to look at boutique. Okay. But, this is... I mean, it's just like I said. It's pretty good. It's pretty amazing, but, as I said before, why not just sell this separately? Why even have this connected to your ministry? Your clothing business should not be connected to your ministry. But it's just like I've said, Christianity's become so commercialized. So commercialized. The best-selling products. Sales. Okay. My goodness. I mean, I don't know. But to me it's not pure, because I know massive sums of money are being made. I know it. I know massive sums of money are being made. I really do, and that's what's so disturbing to me. It's not that she's a businesswoman and she's making money, it's that this is connected to God. And I know a lot of people, this is a normal thing for most people. People say, America, that's the way we do things. This is the West. Everything is about business. And truth be told, that's the way a lot of people think. I know that, but this is one of the things that has ruined our religion. And I want to convey that to my listeners, to my viewers, that I know this seems very very impressive, but it really is ruining our religion. It really is. And there are other things that are too, but especially this. It's just the salesmanship is ridiculous. Things are being sold out, people. I mean, these people are lining their pockets. And they are involved in, it would seem, everything. And on the matter of the e-courses, none of you need e-courses. None of you do. No Christian people who want to learn about Jesus and Christianity, you don't need e-courses. But my goodness. Oh my goodness, we have the Level Up paperback book. Oh, say it is not so. I mean, it seems so derpy, so corny, so dumb. Oh my goodness, it's just terrible. But I don't know what to say. I really don't. And the interesting thing is, this paperback book is the same price as a PDF digital book. That's how you know that there's no real consideration in pricing. It's all just pretty... I mean, to me, I think a PDF should cost less than a paperback. But she's selling the stuff in some cases at the same price. I always think physical things should cost more than actual, But her PDF file should cost way less. I mean, I would say $4 or $5 at the most. And if it were me selling it, I would never sell this stuff, of course, but it's just, I don't know. I'm just amazed by all of this. I'm just looking through, and you can come to this website yourself, of course, and take a look. This isn't going to come down anytime soon. The other picture I showed you, the one with the slit pupil, that may come down. She may not have that. Overcomer leopard print workout? Oh goodness. Set. I mean, I don't know. Regardless of what people say, business is of the world. Business is of the world. What is heavenly should not be mixed with business. I know many Christians feel as though I need to wear clothing that expresses my faith. It doesn't matter. It seriously doesn't matter. A lot of Christians are even coming to Christ with tattoos all over their arms and all over their bodies anyway. Images don't matter. The body that you have is going to die, and all of the clothes with it. Or, they're going to be in the grave or burnt up in the cremation. You really think? Or, you're not going to be wearing these clothes for very long. But the idea of making a profit and teaching the gospel at the same time and just incorporating the gospel with your business. I think I've expressed that well enough as to why that is a problem. Not in America, though, not in the West. Catholics and Orthodox people do the same thing. It's a big problem. It really is. And you folks are going to have to decide for yourselves if that's something you're comfortable with or if that's something you have a problem with. My goodness. I mean, it's all very, as I said, I can't help but say it's all very stylish, and she is too. I mean, but my goodness. I mean, it sort of makes me queasy seeing just how much wealth is being accumulated. And for a woman with vitiligo, some of you may think, why is he making such a big deal about her having vitiligo? To me, it's I have to say, it's quite stunning and I think it's a good thing that she's not ashamed of it, because a lot of women have vitiligo, and men too, and they're ashamed of it and they're ashamed to show any skin. I like that she is not ashamed of it, because a lot of people, they cover themselves up. They don't really like, they don't even like their arms to be shown or their neck or anything like that. But that's quite a good thing. It's not a good thing that she's making money off the backs of the church. And a lot of Christians spend their money on this stuff, and it's just, you're not really helping the church. You may think she's doing something good, but she, is helping this incorporation of business and Christianity really good? I don't think so, but people have different opinions about that. I understand that. But, and we have hats. We have hats. They're good looking hats. A lot of good looking stuff here, but it's just business itself. As in personal business. I know these clothes are, I think about business as a whole process. They're being made in factories, and it's just, how's that godly? I know that, it has everything to do with, getting cheap labor and all of that stuff. That's what I'm thinking about. You may think, oh, well, this is great. Now we have clothing for us. No. There's a whole cheap labor market making these clothes. Christians don't have to put God in it. Maybe if you work for a clothing shop or you're in that business, maybe but the world is fallible. Don't take the infallible God and say, hey, the infallible God is part of our business. No, he isn't. Because if it was the Lord's decision, everyone would be paid. in a fair manner. It's men in the world where you have sweatshops and you have sheep labor, and you can say, we have this sheep labor because we don't want to pay people in this country to make the clothing. I bet you this stuff isn't made in the USA. I bet you. Now, would they do that for Christ? Would they decide, hey, we don't want any people in these poor countries to be making their clothing being paid a cheap wage? But hey, maybe if you're willing to buy some of it, you can see it. I haven't seen anything on this website that says made in the USA yet. But hey, maybe if you see it written somewhere, you can tell me. And if I find it, maybe I'll do a video about it and tell you. But if you want to buy some of her clothes to see if it's made in the USA, okay. I have no problem with that. What's this? Let me take a look at this. Alright.
Hello everybody, I'm Jenny Weaver. I am the owner of Clothed in Grace. We believe in wearing the Word and declaring His truth in every season.
Oh, this is on YouTube. And if it's on YouTube, they'd probably do some copyright strike or something with me. I didn't even know that, but I didn't know it was on YouTube, but I'm not even going to worry. I looked at it through this site. Because I get so mixed up with links. But hey, if worse comes to worse, I'll do this video again. I do this video again, and I know from the other video I basically only played a few seconds of it. But she'll probably catch wind of this. Or some of her people will, and I'm sure if they want to do a copyright strike, then yeah, they can do it. But I may just decide to see if she wants to sue. I don't know. I have no idea. Probably. But who knows? It's no problem for me to redo this video over again and basically not play the video. No problem at all. But anyhow, I was just taking a look at this. Well, I've basically looked at everything that she sells in terms of clothing. And let me take a look here. Okay, that's my Medium blog. That's not what I want to see. Okay, it's the core group. So see, there's the t-shirt, e-course, and I think the shop is the same shop that I had seen before. Yeah, it's the same shop. But it's just, you see, this is supposed to be about faith, but you can go to the shop, to the mercantile. Mercantile for Christ. No, there's no mercantile for Christ. Christ doesn't need images, he doesn't need t-shirts, he doesn't need the stuff. Profiteers. Deliverance training. And let me say this. You don't need training in this. You don't need training in deliverance. Deliverance is just prayer. You can pray over anyone you want for healing or deliverance. You certainly don't need training from her who's making so much money. Now, Win Worley, as far as I know, at his church, he was well known for not asking for money or pushing that. This woman is not even a priest, a pastor, or whatever word you would use. Or I guess what you'd call a priestess, a priestess, whatever. But it's, she's a profiteer. Okay, she's a profiteer, this woman. You don't need deliverance training from her. You really don't. Because I'm certain she has demons in her. And you may say, how do you know? How can you just say that? Well, some of you, my fellow Christians, should know the abstract meaning of some words. Not all words are concrete. Not all words have just one meaning. Now, when I use the word demon, I can also mean, let's see, I know it was here. But basically, what I mean is spirit. And basically, the spirit of greed is a demon too. Okay? Now, some of you, peradventure, maybe you know the vague nature of this word, but spirit can mean something as temporal disposition of mind or outlook. If you're greedy, you have a demon. If you have any greed in you, you have a demon. If you have anger in you, you have a demon. I can consider all of these things demons in an abstract way. If you have anger, you have a problem. If you have greed, you have a problem. If you have lust, you have a problem. You're sick in some way, and whenever that comes upon you, you need to pray to the Lord. And you always have to consent to the passion of greed or anger or any of these things. You can turn away from it, but when you allow it to influence you, to dictate your actions, for that time, you've basically allowed it to take over your mind, and basically you've been, that is a demon. So I can say that based on what I've seen on the site, I can say she's a very greedy woman. Okay? Because there's no way you need donations after you're receiving all of these streams of profit. There's no way. So I already know this woman has a demon. She's greedy. Therefore, she has a demon. She has the disposition or outlook of a greedy person, and she wants to make as much money as she possibly can. The word spirit can mean such a thing as inclination. She has the spirit of greed. The spirit of greed is not a spirit of God. So therefore, it's a demon. How is greediness of God? Greediness is of Satan. Greediness is a Satan. It's an adversary to you. It's an adversary to what is godly. Okay, this is nothing good. It's an evil spirit. It's unclean before God. We can see that this woman makes massive sums just based on her shop alone. She has people donating to her every month. And it's quite significant. Meetups in every state, all of this stuff. But it's just like I said, if she decides, and I'm talking to you, Jenny Weaver, and any of your people, hey, if you're looking at this, you give me a copyright strike, don't worry about it. I will go and come for your site again. I will. Don't worry about it. I will. So maybe if you like to be petty, please do. If you want to be petty, go ahead and do it. I played a little bit of your video that's on your website, and then go through YouTube. This is your advertisement. Okay? Maybe you don't like the bad sort of review I'm giving to everything that you're doing, but that's perfectly well, because people can see it all anyhow. I'll do it again if I have to. So you won't really be accomplishing much if you decide to do a copyright strike on this video or whatever. You're not really going to be doing very much. Okay? But anyhow, we have this, which is shoes pricing for the core group. I mean, she's making plenty of money. But I've basically said what I had to say. I think I've looked at just about everything. But yes, I wanted to inform you folks of this. Oh, I don't think I looked at the prices for the e-courses. E-courses to get taught by her. Well, I don't think they have the pricing here, but I think I have the pricing on my Medium blog. Well, actually, all of them have individual prices. But yes, these are the e-courses, and you do have to pay for them. I think the price is right down here. That's $10. This paid course. Cyber Monday prices. Well, Cyber Monday is a type of deal you can get for different, internet products or whatever. Unpaid course 22. There's so many streams of income. It's shameful. And it's quite shameful. Okay? So, I think this basically concludes what I want to talk about. So, yes. Please beware of this woman. Please beware of her business. I mean, you don't need this. Let me just say this. You do not need this. You don't need her to teach you how to reset your life or anything else. I mean, you really don't need it. You simply don't. She is so... And the guitar. Let me tell you something about the guitar. And I don't have any problem with guitars. But the whole idea... Christianity has become so... I don't know, it's not Christianity itself, it's what we see. It's what most people are doing, it's what's in vogue. The acoustic guitar is so in vogue. And I'm not saying that I promote Jesus metal or Christian rock or anything like that, or Christian metal, if there is such a thing. But it's just, I've gotten so bored of the image of the acoustic guitar. I know that we as Christians can sing and do more than this. I mean the 70s, I mean the soul gospel music that they used to have in the Afro-American community and many other different types of I mean, has it literally just come to this? Acoustic guitars? I see acoustic guitars everywhere. Everything, so many Christian churches. What do we have? Some person singing about Jesus with acoustic guitar. Please, it would be so wonderful if people would mix it up. Different instruments. Different styles. I don't know. I really like Afro-American gospel music. Because at least it's different. It's not the same thing. Even the Catholics have their own type of variation. But there's so many churches now. It's like, here's a guitar. Here's someone singing. I don't know. Am I the only one who feels as though acoustic guitars are somewhat... I've been there. I've done that. I've seen it before. I've seen too many of them. I mean, can't we do something a little different for the Lord? Everyone, I mean, oh goodness. Have we went to country music in every sense? It's just, I don't know. I mean, maybe I'm a bit particular. But I mean, there are certain things that are somewhat annoying to me. Myself, I have a different taste in music, but to each his own, okay? I even like bluegrass more than country music, but it seems as though everything has sort of come down to Christian country or whatever you call it. That's what I associate the acoustic guitar with. Okay, I'm just looking through some of her courses just to... I basically wanted to look through everything, and if this video gets taken down, if I receive some type of problem over it, whatever. At this point, it doesn't really matter to me. I've never really played an actual video of anyone else's on my channel, so that's a first for me. I didn't know, and I don't know how this works. I don't know if YouTube figures out that somehow me and my OBS, I went on her site and played a video of hers, and somehow that is, I don't know, worthy of a copyright strike. I don't know how the AI system works, how they are able to find this stuff. And I doubt my channel is really important enough for her to care about, but who knows? Maybe it will get some attention from her, to be honest. I really simply don't know. Okay? But basically, this is the most devious one here on the e-course. This is her covering her right eye, being very devilish and having that nasty looking slit eye. But I've showed you that, and you know, that's pretty much it. This website is there's so many streams of income. There really is. This is, and fire. Fire is really promoted here, and I think this has more, you know, she might, I don't know. Let me just say that. it's not the kind of fire that I think is holy. I'll put it that way. But as you folks have seen it for yourself, this video is basically to take some looks at her sites and see what she's busy up to, what type of profit she could potentially be making. I don't have any type of number about it, but hey, you can see it's very, very significant. Seems like a very significant profit she'll be making. So she'll have her reward on this world. I don't know if she will have it in the Lord's kingdom, but anyhow, may the Lord bless all of you listeners. Who knows if this video will stay up? I really don't know.